Hello, class, and welcome to ITO633 System Certification Accreditation. Just going to do a brief introduction. I'm Dr. Ken Belcher. I'll be working with you throughout the course. Feel free to email me throughout the course if you have any questions. You'll see it a couple times, but I have my email open. I check it every morning throughout the day and every evening. You can also reach me by phone and throughout the course, but I appreciate, if you send me an email, we can schedule a meeting if needed, or, I can respond to you. Like I said, I'm checking my email very frequently. It's my preferred method of communication. This course, I'm going to go over a little bit of, I learned at, 633, you should be fairly familiar with Canvas, and so, but I'll just go over a couple of the links, the major areas, then we'll go over the syllabus and such a list to go throughout the course. So, you'll see that we have the homepage, it gives a little bit of description of the course. The courses will integrate risk management planning, enterprise architecture, and compliance issues in the design and development of system certification and accreditation program based on recognized standards such as NIST and ISO 27000. And so certification, especially I work for a publicly traded company. And so, our security, we get pen tested, we, go through all kinds of procedures to be certified. So depending on what industry you work in, for healthcare, you have even more requirements. Private companies, you don't have to, have as much compliance, but you still have to, follow the standards to make sure that your systems are secure. And so, like I said, we'll go over the course syllabus, the textbooks, any question queue. If you scroll down into the modules, you can scroll and see each week what's due, and then actually drill into the assignments and submit your assignments. Again, submit all your assignments in Canvas. Please don't email me any assignments. You can look at your grades. You can look at the course syllabus and with the date format, and so you can see what's due. Like this next Thursday, the 13th, the introduction discussion is due, and the discussion on Sarbanes-Oxley from 2002. And I would say I remember when Sarbanes-Oxley first came out and we were having to meet those standards. I was working in a telecommunications company, so we had to follow FCC regulations as well. And so depending on your organization, what regulations you'll follow. Looking at the syllabus, like I said, this is certification and accreditation. It's a graduate level course, and it'll run from January 11th through March 1st. The university mission statement: the mission of ACU is to educate its students for Christian service and leadership throughout the world. The mission is achieved by exemplary teaching offered by a faculty of Christian scholars that inspires a commitment to learning. I definitely agree with this. Learning is a lifelong endeavor. I see it as more a journey than a destination. And you will, have different chapters throughout your life as you go from bachelor's to master's, maybe a doctorate, certifications, seminars. There's all kinds of learning, and especially if you're going to be in information technology and security, it's such a dynamic field that you're going to have to continue your education, and learning new tools, new procedures, and new threats, of course, in security. There's significant research grounded in the university's disciplines of study that informs issues of importance to the academy, church, and society, and meaningful service to society, academic principles, the university and church, expressed in various ways by segments of the ACU university community. I'm very grateful to be part of the ACU. I've taught a couple of classes. This will be my third semester. The students have been fantastic. I appreciate your all's work that you put in, and again, I ask you to submit them on time. I try to provide, quality feedback for you to propel you along and help you with your research, make you better writers and, better researchers and to broaden your education. The college mission statement: the mission of the College of Graduate Professional Studies is to prepare students for Christian service and leadership, providing them with the knowledge and skills to advance their careers, thereby placing them in positions of influence for the expansion of God's purpose in the world. Education and your careers, are going to run hand in hand throughout your life. The program mission statement, the mission of the Master of Science in Information Technology is to prepare IT professionals for administrative and technical roles enabled by the organization and technology skills and informed by principles of Christian vocation. This is accomplished through equipping technologies leaders to practice effective leadership of IT operations within their organizational context, create value through the strategic use of data, information technology, and organizational resources, make ethical decisions informed by values and goals that are consistent with relevant laws and Christian principles. Depending on the organization you work, like I said, I worked for Verizon Communication for nearly 17 years, a real large organization. And when I was in management, at one time I had 158 people that worked for me. And so, I did very little technical work, but now I work at a smaller organization. And even as a manager, we call ourselves working managers, and we do, pretty technical work. Now I work on 300 servers, about 2,000 virtual machines, both Linux and Unix. And, I deal with web application firewalls. Like I said, I'm an e-commerce site. Of course, our internal firewalls, all kinds of networking issues. It's a very interesting position. But anyway, hopefully this course will bring you both some technical skills and some leadership skills as well. With the integration of Christian faith within the college graduate professional studies, faith integration is intentional and comprehensive focus on the intersection of faith, education, and context. Students will engage in theological reflection and lived practice as they pursue their academic discipline, resulting in a more grounded understanding of identity, relationship to the world, and connection to the life and mission of God. In this course, we will integrate risk management planning, enterprise architects and compliance issues in the design and development system, certification and accreditation program based on recognized standards such as NIST and ISO 27000. So looking at our program student learning outcomes, and the PLO is graduates will create value through strategic use of data, information technology as organizational resources. Student level objective will demonstrate knowledge of architecture, components, and functions of enterprise and distributed information systems. And this is, in the world I live, you see this more and more often. I know as graduate students, y'all are also in the career field, but we use a mixture of on-premise resources and in the cloud resources. And so, there's times when both of them make sense or both of them are, viable. So, we do have to look at the whole architecture and the various components of our very distributed information system. So in week one, we'll explain the rationale of the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, and the discussion question will focus on the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002. The assignment will focus on certification and information security. We'll also identify the benefits of certification. The assignment will be on certification and information security. For example, like I said, I work for a publicly traded company, and so certification provides many things. It provides the customers with insurance that we're following the standards that are placed by government agencies. It's for our shareholders, for our customers, even for our workers. In week two, we'll list and explain the key questions behind implementing the information security policy. The discussion will focus on information security policy, and of course, we'll have information security policies as an assignment. We have to have good policies to provide good security for our organization. We'll evaluate system certifications and their relationship to information security. And so we'll discuss those system certifications, and the assignment will focus on information security policies. In week three, we'll classify different types of company assets and how to best protect them. The discussion question will focus on asset management, and there'll be assignment on asset management as well. And then we'll identify the most effective options for effective user access management. So of course, asset management is huge for, to certify that our systems are safe and secure. In week four, we'll explain why and when IT security personnel should implement cryptography, and we'll have a discussion on encryption, and the assignment will focus on encryption. We'll also analyze the correlation between physical and environmental security and risk management. Week 5, we'll list the steps to limit the risk of malware infection in organization. We'll look at malware mitigation strategies, and the assignment will focus on malware infections and mitigation techniques. Unfortunately, malware and virus attacks are very prevalent today. Like I said, we have both a web application firewall along with our internal firewalls. So we'll get into those discussions. We'll document best practice limiting security risk on social media and email and other online environments. Week 6, we'll analyze the 3 key non-repudiation components with respect to the effectiveness of business success in online commerce. We'll list and analyze the steps that take when performing incident management. We'll discuss components of a business continuity plan and their impact on safeguarding the organization in the face of business interruption. And so we'll have a discussion question on non-repudiation. And non-repudiation is just that you can verify that the person providing that information is that person, so they cannot repudiate that they performed that action or provided the information. The assignment will look at incident management, responsibility, and procedures. And week 7, the final week, we'll discuss components of business continuity plan, the impact of safeguarding the organization in the face of business interruption. We'll evaluate compliance regulations, ability to protect stakeholders. The assignment will look at BCBs, business continuity plans, and we'll have a discussion on compliance. There's a couple, so as you go through the discussions and assignments, you're at a graduate level, so make sure that you're using your library resources and following proper format, and I'm really trying to stretch yourself and learn some new information. Required textbook include IT governance, international guide to data security, and ISO 2701 and 27002. We'll also have information security management systems, the novel framework, and software as a tool for compliance with information security standards, first edition, and a recommended test book, information security policy development for compliance. Like I said, it'll go over a little bit of the HIPAA standard as well. And so, like I said, depending on what organization you're in, you'll have different regulations that you have to meet for compliance. The course requirements, we'll go through discussion questions, and participation in the discussion question is, vitally important. We ask that you submit your initial post early by Thursday to give time to respond to 2 of your classmates or your colleagues. The sooner you enter your discussion post, it's appreciated by your colleagues, and I appreciate it as well. Security, information security, or certification in information security. The assignment explores the 8 domains in the information security as they relate to CISSP, certification organizational security. Information security policies, the components of information security policy that relate to different industries are at the heart of the assignment. We discussed the asset management assignment. Students will become familiar with how improper asset use poses risk to company assets, reputation, profitability, and mission. So asset management is critical for an organization. We'll look at encryption, the importance of encryption with risk when encryption is missing or not properly implemented. Again, we'll go over malware infections, mitigation techniques. We'll look at incident management plans and why they're vitally important to the organization. Look at business continuity plans. How do we continue and ensure our business is available, and all our resources are available to the business. But, again, you have been through the university before, I believe, but the engaged learning in an online format, we ask that you log in multiple times a week, that you're submitting your discussion posts and replying to your other fellow colleagues, performing research at the library and posting your assignments, completing any quizzes. Of course, there is the technology requirement of having a laptop or having access to the internet, be able to access Canvas and your email. Paper specifics, we follow the APA 7th edition. And so make sure you're following that, including your citations. Late assignments, hopefully, we don't run into late assignments, but there is a 10% penalty per calendar day for any late assignments. And but hopefully, submit your assignments on time. Of course, if anything does happen, it's always better if you do submit the assignment than rather than not doing it. But I hope that you can, focus on trying to get your assignments in. I really appreciate it. I'll try to grade your assignments as soon as I can and get them back to you and provide some real feedback. That way, if you have any issues, you can resubmit an assignment during the time frame that the assignment's due, and you're not falling behind on the current assignments. Academic integrity, it's your graduate level, and so the expectation of your research at a graduate level is much higher than when you're an undergraduate. So we expect that you're doing your own research. You should, we're going to use Turnitin, plagiarism checker. You should be checking that yourself. Make sure that your work is independent, it's your own. If you have any questions, reach out to the university's library. The librarians are a fantastic resource. It's one of the things you're paying for with your tuition, and the librarians at every school I've ever been to have been great, very helpful. But some of the consequences is losing points on assignment, failing the course, being reported to the dean, and then ultimately being dismissed from the university. So we don't want to face those. So make sure, even down to the discussion post, I'll be checking the discussion posts for any plagiarism. If there's any plagiarism found in the discussion post, it will get a 0 on the first post, and on the second violation will be reported to the dean's office with a 0 for the assignment as well. Have to briefly mention the anti-harassment policy. Harassment will not be tolerated at ACU. As a Christian community, Abilene Christian University has committed itself unequivocally to ensuring a working and learning environment in which the dignity of every individual is respected. Harassment is defined as unwelcome behavior or conduct based on sex, religion, race, age, color, national origin, veteran status, disability, or other characteristics protected by law. So if you have any concerns about the harassment policy, here's a link to more detailed version, but make sure you're reporting any issues you have, or if you have any questions, reach out to me or reach out to your director, or the university. The current version of the handbook can be found through this link. The Dallas Student Code of Conduct was also online, and failure to follow the code of conduct both online and at the university can result being dismissed from the university. ADA compliance statement. ACU is dedicated to removing barriers and opening access for students with disabilities in compliance with ADA in Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. The Alpha Scholars Program facilitates disability accommodations cooperation with instructors. In order to receive accommodations, you must register with the Alpha Scholars Program, and you must complete a specific request for each class in which you need accommodations. If you have a documented disability and wish to discuss academic accommodations, please contact the Academic Accommodations Office. The phone number is right there, and they also provide their email address. They're a great office. Don't hesitate to contact them. Like I said, the library, the ACU library is a fantastic resource. You'll be using your distance learning portal to gain access to it, but don't be afraid to email the librarians or contact an online librarian and ask for any assistance. They will help you with research. It's just a great resource. It goes way beyond, what research is available with Google, or another search engine. So make sure you're using the library. Title IX statement. As a professor, one of my responsibilities is to help create a safe learning environment on our ACU Dallas Online campus. I also have a mandatory reporting responsibility related to my role as professor. It is my goal that you feel safe to share information related to your life experiences in the class discussions, and your written work, and your one-on-one meetings. I will seek to keep the information you share private to the greatest extent possible. I'm required to share with the Title IX coordinator information regarding sexual misconduct, harassment, dating, or domestic violence or stalking that occurred while you are enrolled at a student ACU. If you would prefer to share information in a confidential setting, I encourage you to access counseling services with Timely MD. All your available options can be reviewed looking at ACU's policy. There's a link here. The grading for the course is the same for all your graduate level courses, 90 to 180 to 89.9, 70, et cetera, A, B, C, D. And so, hopefully, especially at graduate level, we want to be performing A-level work. Make sure you're submitting your assignments on time. Again, you can see all the assignments, just have a good discussion. Make sure you're, putting in, a few references and, being verbose enough on the topics and replying to your students with encouraging comments, and maybe challenge them to look a little bit deeper or something that you found. So there's the course adds up to 100 points, and you can see the points for each assignment. Make sure you're submitting them. You see a discussion is only worth 2 points, but they add up quickly to 100 points. So make sure that you're getting all the discussions in on time and the assignments in on time. I've been impressed with the students at ACU. I know you're capable of really quality work. I look forward to reading it and reviewing it and providing feedback to you. I hope you enjoy the class. Like I said, my email is open. Feel free to email me, and I hope you enjoy the class. We'll talk to you soon.